Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Mike here at Game from Scratch, and given that we're a couple days removed from Halloween, I figured right now is a great time to talk about a game engine called Tombstone Engine. Now, you may have heard of its success or its predecessor, the C4 game engine, made by a company called Terrathon. It is a commercial and proprietary game engine, and in this day and age, that is getting more and more tricky to justify. This actually has a $500 price tag. It can target, major desktop platforms plus the PlayStation 4 platform. There is no mobile support, however. Now, another reason I'm talking about this guy is a new update was just released, and this is the first major update since the 2.5 release, which is where this demo runs from. The 2.9 release was just announced earlier this week, and it is completely free to existing developers. I'm not going to go into the details of it all too much because they're not incredibly relevant, but this is the demo of it, of the game engine in action, kind of showcasing what the engine is capable of. There's 4 different kind of levels. This one's the most fun. It's a Halloween-themed arena level where we can just kind of go around and kill stuff, which that's always fun. You'll see there are several different weapons categories. Let's get the nail gun up. There we go. So, kind of a Serious Sam kind of demonstration, but it does give you an idea of what this engine is in fact capable of and how terrible I am at first-person shooters. But the real magic here, and the part where it gets really kind of impressive, is when I hit the tilde key, because the entire game engine and all the tooling for the engine is actually embedded within the engine itself. So if you grab the demo off of the website, it's about a gigabyte in size, then you can come in here and what you do, hit tilde, like so, which unfortunately doesn't pause your game, so you're as good as dead when you do it. And you'll notice down here you have this menu option, and this is where the guts of the engine itself are embedded. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and open up the world. Now the world is, this is your various different level formats. There's some tutorials. You'll see a lot of the game objects here, the portals, all the different things that go together are embedded world objects, but what we're interested in is the overarching level. So we'll open that guy up, and here you are in a full-blown level editor, and you'll see it works kind of like a virtual operating system within the game engine itself. So here we have, so our game is still running in the background. If we ever want to switch back over to it, we can. But here we've got a level editor or level editing environment to work from. Now, I personally don't have much experience with this particular game engine. It is well documented, though. I will bring up the wiki page for you later on. So if you want to learn more about it, the information is definitely there. But you can see you've got things for object placement, material creation, earth, instancing, things in the editor. There was a scene graph. It's not shown right now, but here you can see the actual world level. I'm holding down the right mouse button and using WASD keys to navigate around the world. And then you see we've got things like the spawning portal, and we can select it, and there you see it is another world object instanced within our world object. Over here you've got obviously the things that you'd use to compose to create your particular game. So things like for placing lighting, sound, portals to link between different areas or do visibility inclusion. You've got markers here for creating connections between things for AI management, and then middle button, pathing, special effects, particle system. So if we wanted to instance a particle system, there we go. We got new particles in the world, or we could add some rain, like so. Camera effects, atmospheric effects, skyboxes. So you got physics creations in there, and then behind the scenes, of course, you've got all of the things that you would expect: a full-blown 3D game engine, editor, full physics system. There is a visual scripting language, and then on top of what we're seeing here for the world editor, there are a number of different tools here. So we've got a panel editor, which appears to be for more of a UI design. So you can even bring in things like movie formats. And this is one of those things about the developer and the engine itself. They've got a whole lot of proprietary in-house things. Now, they created the OpenGex format in an attempt to kind of get the industry to standardize on an open game object format. It didn't really take off. The GLTF format probably is the closest we've come to success in that area, but I applaud them for trying to do that. But at the same time, in their engine, they've also created their own texture format, movie format, model format. I'm not sure that not-invented here syndrome isn't kind of coming into effect there, but they do have all of the tooling kind of built into this guy. This guy's been under development for over a decade, if you include the previous versions as well, and the maturity shows. So we come in here, we've also got tools for creating and editing materials. We've got tools for creating and importing fonts. We got tools for, here, let me instead do the open. Actually, it doesn't really matter. Font editing is never really that exciting. So we got the So we've got material, we've also got texturing options. So we come in here to the demo, texture, we bring in a texture, and not exceedingly overwhelming tool, but kind of fundamental to making a game. We've got a movie tool, we've got a terrain tool, and terrain tool is actually pretty cool. If you check that out, they have a full-blown video showing it in action, and it shows how you can create terrain systems pretty sweetly. So let me actually open that up, see what happens. So let's go and add. That's not what I want. Demo, world, arena. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. So let's not do that. But if you do, again, watch the video on their channel, you can actually see some pretty impressive terrain creation tools built in there. Yeah, that's kind of the extent of it. So I'm going to just exit out of Tombstone itself. I'm going to switch on over to, first we'll get into the release notes of this actual release. Oops, there we go. Not gonna set the world on fire with what was here, so a lot of it was refactoring. Graphics manager got some OpenGL 3.3 is now a requirement. Motion blur improvements, you know, kind of incremental stuff you expected just about any game engine. The font format has changed. Many new text rendering capabilities, including underline, strike through, horizontal stretch, transform-based subscripts. Effects Manager now has a new text effect node. Terrain, the functions that build terrain geometry have been improved, so vertex shading occurs as often as possible. And the font importer contains new settings for the size and position of underline, strike through, etc. So a lot of really strong changes in the font rendering section for this particular release. But that's about it. So we're going to head back over to their website. So if you're interested in learning a bit more about the Tombstone game engine, it is available at tombstoneengine.com. As I mentioned earlier on, it works on PlayStation 4, it targets PlayStation 4, Windows, Mac, and Linux. The binaries appear to be only for Windows, but they are locked behind a paywall, so I can't verify that for sure. The actual demo that we've been working with, though, it is this guy right here. It is only available for 64-bit Windows 7 or later, so I'm assuming that that's the same requirement as all their tooling, because if there was a Mac or a Linux binary, they would probably be making it available in demo format. But this is the Tombstone game engine, and as I mentioned earlier on, this is the part that I have the most problem with. This is, again, in 2018, selling a game engine for $500. That's a hard sell. Even if you have some of the best tooling in the world, well, I hate to say it, but Unity and Unreal Game Engine also have incredible tooling, and they have R&D development budgets that are like off the chart. And if you wanted to go completely free, well, you've got Godot on the other hand. So I don't mean to dump on this engine. I'm impressed with what I've seen for sure. There's a lot of capability there. I just think they may have to revisit their business model, because, yeah, it's just kind of the way of the world now. Now, I could be completely wrong out there. There could be a bunch of C4 and Tombstone engine users out there that I'm completely unaware of. And if they're making that $500 per user, coincidentally, it is per user. So if you're a development team with 10 people working on the engine, you need to have 10 licenses. And if there are a number of developers out there using this guy, well, then bravo. But once again, if I head on back over here to the C4 Engine wiki, which I assume includes the Tombstone stuff because there's no Tombstone information. There is a list of games that were created using it, but again, the only one that I've really heard of is Fat Princess Adventures. So I think that they're probably best served by switching to a business model that somehow gets it out there to more people and in more hands. But hey, I don't run their company. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. So maybe it's doing quite well the way it is, and yeah. So let me know. Let me know all those things in the comment down below. It is a cool engine. I figured I would bring it to your attention. And of course, there is that new release on November the 2nd. So yeah, the link to more details about the whole release notes will be down below, along with an embedded version of this video for people that are interested in learning more about Tombstone itself. Has it piqued your interest, or is that price tag just not worth it to you? Let me know. I'm definitely interested in knowing what you guys' opinion on this one was. I cover a broad variety of game engines here on this channel, so here's another one. All right, talk to you all later. Goodbye.